Hello, everyone. Some very important predictions for August. In my Nadi that was read both in December and then I had a follow-up Nadi reading in January, there was very detailed predictions about calamity and war in August. It said that basically when Sun, Moon, and Jupiter are conjunct on a no moon night, which is also a solar eclipse, which will be August 12th, there will be a volcanic eruption near Japan, and Japan's old name was mentioned. And then it went on to say that in an act of war, China will use very advanced technology and ask its scientists to create sort of an artificial natural disaster. It'll try to make it look like a natural disaster, but really it is an attack, and it would again be another undersea volcano. So what advanced technology it could use would also involve satellites and perhaps something like an EMP weapon or something which has energy and vibrations and all. It's not like a huge blast or something. And it said that this also will affect Japan the most, but it will also affect where you live. And China will be in cahoots with Russia, and both of them will do this act, and that will be the first China-US point of conflict. Now, what has happened is, in less than a month ago, maybe a few weeks ago, one of my friends who lives in the Bay Area had asked Prashna, a question and answer chapter, and he had asked about this natural disaster, which was briefly mentioned in his Nadi. So he'd asked this question, can you give me some more details? And will I be affected by this natural disaster, which is going to happen this year? And also in the future, something was mentioned. So what the answer came in his Nadi is that, yes, we cannot give you all the details, but we can tell you that this is after June when Jupiter moves into Cancer, and around your birthday or so, which is in September. Um, let me rewind. So in my Nadi, when it said that China will do this natural disaster and create this, it will be an attack, but they'll try to make it look like a natural disaster. This will be when Sun conjuncts with Ketu, and Ketu is not a planet, but it's a shadow planet. When Sun conjuncts with Ketu, this will happen. And a lot of details were given, that I've mentioned briefly here. And that will happen, the exact conjunction of Sun and Ketu will be in Leo, and it'll be on August 25th. But Sun is in Leo from August 15th to September 17th. Okay. So that's sort of like the window when this could happen. So in this person's Nadi, who is my friend, it said that this would happen near your birthday, and his birthday is in September. So that matches the same timeline. Now, again, this is completely different Nadi readings, and there's no connection. So then this confirms that what was said to me is now being said to somebody else in a separate Nadi reading. So that builds up the probability of this happening. And it said that this would be both war and a calamity. Both was mentioned. War and calamity. It will happen in around your birthday. Now, in my Nadi, it said that this sort of artificially created undersea volcano by China using advanced weapons, the main problem is going to be poisonous gas and air that's poisonous. The air will become poisonous and things like that. So in his Nadi, he did not mention all these details, but it did say that you will be affected. It will create problems. There will be some losses, but you will you will come out of it. You will survive, sort of thing. I mean, you will come out of it, and you must pray. it also told him, and he's into Kriya Yoga and he meditates and everything. And it says your prayers are very important. You must pray. I was also told to pray, and I'm going to be holding a yajna in July in India to this yajna, this fire ceremony, this sacred fire ceremony. I'm going to take the intention for this act of war and all this stuff to reduce and not kill anyone. Even if it happens, let people not die. So at least it reduces. If the event has to happen, let it happen. But I'm very worried even about animals, and if it's poisonous gas. So in my nadi it said, yes, it's going to affect Japan the most, but it'll also affect you here. Now this friend of mine, he lives walking distance from my house in San Jose, California. So it said, yes, it will affect you, it will create problems and loss and all, but you will be fine afterwards. It says bach ke aa jaoge, meaning uh, you will come out of it safe. And it asked him to pray. So my advice to you is that if you live on the west coast of the US, or if you is anybody here listening to it who's in the Japan area or in Alaska, because my feeling is, after talking to a friend, that this could happen near Alaska. This is just my guess and calculated guess that this could happen because there are so many volcanoes along the coast of Alaska, the southern coast, and it's so close to Russia and Asia that it's probable that they do something in undersea volcano off the coast of Japan, off the coast of Alaska. And that kind of makes sense because you see, Japan is so close by. But you see, if the wind currents come south, then the west coast of America would be affected. And I'm in Northern California. So that's very probable because we can get air currents and sea currents and stuff. Now, I haven't studied this, but it is quite probable. So if this does happen, I recommend that uh, you have a room that you can isolate in and seal the doors and windows. I'm going to buy a mask. I've already bought a mask from Amazon that filters out, toxic air. It's freely available. It's about $25 only. And but be able to seal the doors and windows, have an air purifier, change the HVAC filter, the heater filter, so you can just run the air through that filter. Have 3, 4, 5 days of ready-made food, whether it's canned soup or it's breakfast bars. Keep some water in case you need to stay indoors. Even if you cannot seal the doors and windows, you should stay indoors and plan to stay indoors for the days that it takes for the wind and air to disperse and come clean. With some of my friends, I have a group where I will also share a list of things that we can do. But this is what I mentioned to you briefly, is that, if there's toxic air outside, that you should be in an airtight room. You can get a mask, have ready-made food and water available. And in his Nadi, it also confirmed that 2 years from now, in 2028, there will again be a major calamity. So this calamity, this sort of act of war, artificially enhanced or created undersea volcano, will be bad, but it won't be as bad as this calamity in 2028. I'll talk about it more because we still have about 2 years. But my guess is that this is going to be a meteor that crashes in the Pacific Ocean, from all the information that I've gathered, because this has come in so many people's nadis, maybe a couple of dozen or something. So I have a feeling that this is going to affect us much more in 2028. So I will talk about this more in a later video. But I just wanted to say that it came again in his nadi as well, that that he would have to move. I was told to do organic farming and such. So we'll talk about that in more detail. But this thing about August, September, approximately, is going to be a pretty serious thing. We shouldn't take it lightly. And if you know anybody in California, on the West Coast, or in Japan, or in Asia, but this, I feel if this thing is manufactured and exploded in a undersea volcano in Alaska, this is going to affect a lot of people in this region down till, at least down till here, because it mentioned my area, San Jose, California. So that is what I wanted to share with the members, and please comment. And if you have any suggestions on what I can do for members, please let me know. I would be happy to set up a short Q&A live session if you're interested. I don't have that many members, so if last time I asked, only one person responded. But please feel free to comment, send me messages, comment on this video, and I'm open to suggestions. So thanks for listening. I'll see you next time.